Hey everyone, how's it going? Koala Superhero here with another Overwatch video. Design wise, Blizzard World has to be one of my favourite maps in the game. Such a great idea to combine all things Blizzard into one feature packed map. This map is also pretty damn great for someone who, like myself, plays a lot of Junkrat. So here are some tips on how to play Junkrat in this new hybrid map, and more specifically on how to make the most of your traps. Before we get started though, if you enjoyed this video and wish to support the channel, please think to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Tip number 1 is to do with a certain flight of stairs near the first choke point. The first choke point can be very intense. You have both quite long and very short lines of sight available, but most heroes will need to go through it to reach the first point and unlock the payload. Placing a trap in the Lost and Found Vikings room at the top of the stairs, for instance, can help you and your team do one of two things while slowing down the enemy. Either help you take them down, if you're in the room defending it already, or give you warning that the path is being taken by the enemy team. In both instances, the trap has to be either triggered or destroyed for enemies to be able to pass, making it a great spot to place one. Junkrat will be deadly to anyone trying to control or get through this initial choke point, and some well placed traps will certainly help hinder your enemies. The second tip is to do with the first point itself. The first point is an interesting one. Enemies cannot see it until basically they start contesting, and unlike Volskaya for example, which is a similar first point, the one in Blizzard World is accessed up a short slope, so is technically on higher ground than the choke point you've just gone through to reach it. This means that any enemy arriving to the point will be looking slightly upwards, and that's the important part here. By the time they reach the point, enemies who are looking slightly upwards are going to be fighting and looking out for you and your teammates. They won't necessarily pay attention to the floor, and this is where you come in with your traps. You can pretty much place a trap anywhere on the point and you are pretty sure it will trigger. Try to place it so it's hidden from sight for as long as possible, for instance behind a corner. And given that this point is relatively small, when you're in the middle of a skirmish, try to place down random traps from time to time. You'll almost certainly block your enemies and get a lot of value out of your trap. This doesn't work just for defense either. When attacking, your trap will help you capture the point. The defenders will be too distracted by your allies and by defending the point to see your trap coming. Tip number 3 is to watch out for which health packs you choose to trap. As usual, trapping health packs can be a very strategic move, which will help you take down low health enemies who are not expecting a trap somewhere they think is safe and away from the action. One particularly good health pack to trap is the one in the middle of the streets phase. The payload is essentially travelling in a semicircle around this pack, making it the most convenient one to reach for most heroes for most of the duration of this streets phase, so keeping it in check will help your team advance or defend depending on which side you're on. Tip number 4 is to protect the payload. Wherever possible, and this is valid for most payload maps, try to place the trap near the payload, especially if it's being contested a lot. Placing your trap will do two things: help your team deal with immediate threats by immobilizing enemies, but also make enemies wary of the payload. They'll pay more attention to the floor next time they try to contest, looking to find your traps of course, and take their attention away a little bit from other possible threats. And tip number 5 is darkness is your friend. The last portion of Blizzard World is played in a much darker area than the rest of the map. You can pretty much place your trap anywhere on a flat surface, near the payload, on a health pack or anywhere else, and be sure it will trigger since it's virtually invisible. A great place to defend from is this little ledge in the middle, where you can drop your trap down onto the dark floor and continuously bombard your enemies, finishing off any of them who inevitably fall into your traps. It's good to remember that as an attacker you also have a very nice flanking path on the opposite side of the room to the payload, and played well, Junkrat on his own can distract enemies enough for them to have to fight on two fronts simultaneously. On the same flanking path, if defending, you can place a trap down there somewhere to give you some warning if enemies choose to take it. Overall, Junkrat is a great choice for Blizzard World, and will contribute in a very positive way to both attacking and defending teams. I hope you found this video helpful and will know a bit more on how to play Junkrat on Blizzard World, or know what to watch out for if he's on the enemy team. If you have your own more general Blizzard World tips, please share them in the comments, and also let me know if there's anything you'd like me to cover, any other maps for Junkrat's traps, or any other heroes for Blizzard World. That's it for this video. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.